Hello, my name is Anders Hedman. I'm an associate professor at the Royal Institute of Technology in Stockholm, Sweden, also known as KTH. And today I will talk about big data storytelling, and I will um, I will have an angle on big data storytelling that involves ethical and human-centered considerations. So I have structured my presentation in the following way. I will first begin with talking about human storytelling, and then machine storytelling, which is it's different. It's a kind of storytelling that can be done with artificial intelligence. Then we will move on to hybrid storytelling, which is a combination of both human storytelling and machine storytelling. And finally, I will try to say something about how we can think about real storytelling or authentic storytelling. So if we begin with human storytelling, I think the way we traditionally think about good human storytelling is that it's best when it's done based on our own experiences, our life experiences. A writer tries to write a novel and has no no experiences, life experiences that the writer can build on, is not likely to produce very good stories, probably. So often we think of life experiences as being important, and having some kind of understanding that's real about what we write about as humans. And if we are able to have this kind of genuine understanding, and if we can write based on our life experiences, then maybe that's one way to think then about authentic storytelling. But I will get back to that towards later in the presentation. If we move on now to machine storytelling, then that's possible through generative AI. And we have all seen how generative AI have just exploded with these possibilities of generating stories. And a lot of times they seem really good. And it is as if these AI technologies had some kind of understanding, and one might wonder how it's possible that they can produce such good stories. But we also see that they hallucinate a lot. So they come up with these mad pieces of text that are incorrect. If a human did the same, we would say maybe that the human lied, or the human just presented falsities as if they were truth. And that's sort of what these generative technologies do a lot of the times. They come up with these mad ideas, and they present it as if it was true. And when we wonder here, well, why don't we just fix it and we implement some algorithm that will keep these AIs from hallucinating, but it turns out it's not that easy to do that. It seems like we it's unclear how we would be able to do it. Part of the reason here, or maybe all of the reason, is that these AI don't understand what they are writing. They give the appearance of understanding what they write, perhaps. So they behave as if they understand, but they don't understand. There's absolutely no understanding there, and the reason is that algorithms are not the sorts of things that could have any understanding. So let's move on now to our third kind of storytelling, which is hybrid storytelling. So here we have storytelling in the form of an interplay between machine and human, and it's a new kind of dynamic. So we can use generative AI technologies to produce stories, and maybe we don't use them so much, or we use them a lot. And if we use them a lot, then there's the danger that sort of the machine is producing really the story and not the human. And there's the possibility that this text then contains a lot of false ideas, and that it contains hallucinations. And maybe the human doesn't realize that these are hallucinations and doesn't really understand the text. And so that can happen. Then the balance lies with the machine, and the machine doesn't understand, and neither does the human. And that's highly problematic, of course, because the human might pass along the text as if it was true. Uh, and uh, and there's a problem also for the human, because the human doesn't seem to develop in a situation like that. It's being snowed by AI, and maybe just gets more confused. But it could be the case too. We can imagine that the human uses the generative AI and has a pretty good understanding of what's produced and can see when the AI hallucinates and just take that out and work with the text. And so then the 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 text that's produced is a good text without hallucinations, and maybe it's good for the human too. The human can develop and sort of learn in this dynamic. So now let us turn to this question of authentic storytelling. I've talked about understanding and ownership as important in for authentic storytelling. And here, humans, we have the possibility of understanding and taking ownership of text or stories that we produce. And we have the possibility of engaging in this sort of authentic storytelling. But if we don't understand the text, we can't really take ownership of it. Because we couldn't answer questions about it well, because we don't understand the text well. So we don't have that kind of intellectual ownership of the text, and the text couldn't be authentic then. There's no way that the text could be authentic, produced in an authentic way, if we don't understand it and we don't have any ownership of it, and nobody has any ownership of it. So the human scenario then is a scenario where we have the possibility for authentic storytelling. So we see that on one of the sites here. Then we have this machine storytelling, where the machine produces the whole story. And since the machine doesn't understand anything, it can't really take ownership. And there's really no possibility of authentic storytelling there. But what about the hybrid situation? There we have the human and machine working together. And there, it seems to me it can go both ways. The machine could take over and produce most of the story, and the human may not understand that story and may not understand that it contains hallucinations, may not be able to filter them out. And then we have hybrid storytelling that's inauthentic. Or it could go in another way, and that's when the human understand what is produced and can work with the machine to filter out the hallucinations and the falsities, and develop in this process, learning from this hybrid dynamic, and developing as a writer or as somebody who produces stories. And there could be sort of a middle ground too, where maybe the human learns something. It's not a perfect situation. The human is led astray a bit. There could be much better ways of thinking about a subject that this hybrid constellation is writing about. Um, uh, so it seems to me that all the possibilities are there. So I'd like to end here at this sort of overview of storytelling with big data and the new generative AI technologies in comparison to human storytelling, and in comparison to just machine storytelling. So thank you for your attention. And I will end here. This project is that I'm a part of is it's data stories, and you find some contact information here, including my email. Thank you.